Hello everybody and welcome to my series where I try to collect every LEGO DC superhero ever made. And for those of you that are new to this series, it's pretty self-explanatory, just trying to get everyone that the LEGO DC superhero line is put out. So it does not include the original LEGO Batman line and also does not include those ridiculously expensive and rare Comic-Con minifigures, but anyone just directly releasing the set. So we got a lot of spaces to fill. The oldest guys are up at the top, newest guys down at the bottom. So let's go jump right into it, see who I add to the wall today. Alrighty, to start us off here, we have a couple of pretty cool guys. The Catwoman here on the left, she takes us all the way to the beginning of the LEGO DC superheroes theme. She came out in 2012 in the Catwoman Cat Cycle City Chase. It's a lot of alliteration in that title. If you want to get her brand new in good condition, she goes for about $4, so pretty cheap. And she looks like a very classic LEGO Batman Catwoman, especially with the cat cowl here. So the prints around her are pretty good. It's a pretty basic one, but you can see the suit and her belt as well as the zipper, and it's got like this purple outline on it. Then the Catwoman cowl here looks pretty good. It's like straight out of the video games on this one. If you pop that bad boy off, you can see underneath here that you got those weird goggles to be able to, give the illusion of eyes underneath the mask. So doesn't look good without the cowl, but she does actually have an alternate head there. So if you want to put that on, it doesn't look very good without the the simulated goggles. So definitely looks much better, but it is pretty nice that they give you the option of the alternate head there if you want to put a hairpiece on it. On the right, we have a really cool minifigure. This is Batzarro. So this guy came out in 2015 in the Justice League versus Bizarro DVD. So remember when they used to do LEGO direct-to-DVD movies and they would include a minifigure? This is one of them. If you want to get this guy in good condition, he goes for about $17. And this is a pretty cool minifigure. LEGO never gave us a Bizarro minifigure outside of the Mighty Micros one. So it's kind of interesting that they gave us a Batzarro, who, is far less common than Bizarro. But this is a pretty cool minifigure. He is molded in the lavender piece here. Then he has an upside down bat insignia, as well as an upside down belt. That looks pretty, I like that little detail here. He's got the classic cowl piece with the chin strap on it. And then popping that off, you can see underneath, he does have like little vampire fangs, and he's got that headband to, give us the eyes underneath the cowl. He does have an alternate face there with the mouth open, and looks pretty good with the cowl on it. Then underneath that cape there, you can see the printing does continue. There's some musculature as well as the continuation of the upside down belt. His cape here is pretty neat. I believe this originally came out in the Lord of the Rings line, but it's kind of just this tattered, thrown together cape. So it's a pretty nice one. I think fits Batzarro pretty well. But that does it for these two guys. Let's get on to the next ones. Up next, we have a couple of very cool minifigures in my opinion. Both of these guys came out in the 2019 Bat-Sub Underwater Clash. On the left here, we have Aquaman, and this specific Aquaman is just known as Aquaman with long yellow hair. So pretty self-explanatory, and he's got long yellow hair for him. But this is a pretty good Aquaman. It's very comic booky, so it's not like overdone with detail like the movie versions of the Aquaman. But it looks very, very good. We pop that hair off, we can see it a little bit better. His face print is done very well with the beard, and then the torso print looks great with the scaling and the musculature, as well as the lining of the Atlantis symbol. Looks very good. And then I do also like how his pants kind of bleed into the torso print as well. Just a little bit of extra detail, always very much appreciated. On the back side, you can see he does have an alternate face there and back printing as well. Again, very good back printing. If you want to get this Aquaman in good condition, he goes for about $3. So not very expensive for a very good Aquaman in my opinion. On the right, we have a much more interesting character, at least in the realm of LEGO. This is Ocean Master. So this is, of course, one of the arch nemesis of Aquaman here, and this is an exclusive minifigure. We have not gotten an Ocean Master before or since this guy, and his price reflects that a little bit more. He goes for about $12, so definitely starting to get up there in price. He does have this really cool helmet here. It is not actually exclusive to Ocean Master. The Atlantis guards from the Justice League movie also featured this helmet in the pearl gold, but I believe this is the only time we get it in this silver color. It looks very good. I do like that quite a bit. Popping this off here, you can see his face underneath it. He's got those red goggles to kind of show the red eyes of, the iconic look for Ocean Master. And then his prints also look really good. It's a little more subtle because it's dark on dark, but it is molded in the purple there with some black prints. And he also does have some scale and belt details that look really, really good. And then on the back here, he does have this magenta, mesh cape here, and looks and feels very good, very malleable. Makes it easy to just flip up and show the back print there, and it's good back printing again. Nothing like super outstanding, but very well for something you'll probably never see with that cape. And then of course you can also see his alternate face there where he is screaming and no goggles. So if you want to see what that looks like with the helmet, that looks pretty good actually. Unlike Catwoman where it's kind of not lined up perfectly, this actually looks pretty good for the non-goggle version of Ocean Master. But that does it for these two guys. Let's get on to the next ones. Alrighty, next up we have a couple of just dudes in suits. On the left here we have Maxwell Lord. And this guy came out for the Wonder Woman 84 movie tie-in. And it's been a really long time since I've seen this movie, and I don't remember it very well. I believe this is supposed to be Pedro Pascal, right? And this looks nothing like Pedro Pascal. They did not do a very good job capturing his likeness at all. But he came out in 2020 in the Wonder Woman versus Cheetah set, and he only goes for about $2. He is not very sought after or very desirable. And I'm kind of in that boat. I just needed him for the wall. But I will say, I do like his torso print here with the pinstripe suit. That looks pretty good. You can add this to like whatever minifigure city display pretty well. Other than as like a Maxwell Lord minifigure, like, I guess, if you tell me that. He does have an alternate face there where he's looking much more scared. And again, the back print continues with that pretty nice striped suit there. So very cool. I do like that torso print, even if it's a pretty weak minifigure overall. And $2, I mean, sure, why not, right? On the right here, we have a little bit more of an interesting minifigure. This is Lieutenant Gordon from the Batman movie. And they capture the actor's likeness much, much better here with Jeffrey Wright. He actually looks like Jeffrey Wright, his skin tone was molded in the nougat color there. And then he does have the black hair Widow's Peak. He came out in 2021 in the Batcave Riddler face-off set, and he goes for about $7. I do also like his torso and leg printing there, like the trench coat comes down. That's very, very good. And I like how the printing continues pretty seamlessly onto the torso and waist piece there. Looks very good. Flipping him around here, he does just have very standard back printing, nothing too exciting there. And popping off the hair, he does have an alternate face. So if you want to make him look a little more angry, you're able to do so. Definitely much more of a fan of the Lieutenant Gordon than I am of the Maxwell Lord. But that does it for these two guys. Let's get on to the next ones. The next two minifigures bring us all the way up to 2025 from the Lego Arkham Asylum set. We have a couple of Arkham inmates. On the left here, we have the Joker in a prison jumpsuit. And then on the right, we have Harley in a prison jumpsuit. These guys use the exact same torso and legs, so there's no different between the Joker, the male and the female bodies. There's no negative space. They just totally reused the whole thing, which is a little bit disappointing, but it works, I think, in this instance. Joker goes for about $9, and Harley Quinn here goes for about $12. So she's a little bit more desirable out of the two of these. But the Joker looks pretty good. I do like how they implement this like classic Superman hairpiece here for the Joker in that green color. Looks pretty decent. And then his smile is done really well. Big fan of that. The torso is pretty well detailed. Lots of creasing and linings and pockets. So very good there. On the back, there is the Arkham Asylum inmate text there. Looks very good. And then no alternate face for the Joker. That's a little disappointing. It's basically a UCS set, right, for DC, and it kind of sucks that they're skipping out on an alternate face print. But it is what it is. It's a Joker. We've got a million Jokers. Harley Quinn is looking a little more exciting. She's got the really cool dual molded pigtails there with one side red and one side black. She also has a couple of roller skates on the bottom here. So we pop that off. So one is red and one is black to match her hair. It's these skates we've gotten for several, a long time now. I believe they first debuted in a minifigure, collectible minifigure. Struggling to put that back on there. There we go. Again, same torso and leg prints as the Joker, and she has a pretty good face print there. She's blowing a bubble, and then she actually does have an alternate face there with a winky face. So at least she has an alternate head. It's much better than the Joker, and maybe reflects a little bit why she's a little more expensive. I think just Harley Quinn's a little more popular than the Joker at this point in time. So who knows? But I think it is a better overall minifigure in general. But that does it for these two guys. Let's get on to the next ones. Alrighty, so the last three guys also come from the 2025 Arkham Asylum set here. On the left, we have just an Arkham statue, but Lego Bricklink does actually count this towards a minifigure, so it belongs on the wall. And this is a pretty good statue. I always do like the statue minifigures. She includes these handcuffs with a big old lock and chain on them, and then also has a pretty good, stone toga there. Looks pretty decent. Good face print as well, and then the hair molded in the light bluish gray as well as the wings. So very cool minifigure. But what really sells it is the alternate face there that's been Joker-fied. He's gotten some graffiti on there, so that looks pretty cool. Big fan of that. And this minifigure is kind of expensive. She goes for about $18, so definitely getting up there in price. In the middle, of course, we have a Batman. Lego DC has made so many Batmans, and this specific one has the outstretched asymmetrical cape, so kind of like a billowing in the wind. But other than that, it's kind of just a generic Batman. He's got the updated cowl piece with the dual molded eyes there, and then a pretty good torso print. I do like that one a lot there with the yellow and black bat insignia as well as the belt. If we take the head off there, you can see the Bruce Wayne underneath it, and then on the back you can see, we're trying to angle this a little bit better, his alternate face just kind of looking pretty meh, and then popping that cape off you can see the back printing a little bit better as well. So pretty good back printing, I think. That always appreciated, especially when you would probably never see it. If you want to get this Batman, he goes for about let's see here, not a whole lot more. He's about 13 bucks. And then Mr. Freeze here is by far the most expensive of the bunch so far. He goes for about $24. So not quite sure why he's so expensive. We've gotten a lot of Mr. Freezes. It's not like there's no lack of Mr. Freeze. In fact, you can get a Mr. Freeze right now in that classic Batman animated series getup. But this is a pretty cool one regardless. He is totally molded in this sand green here. And then he's got a lot of pretty good detailing with the helmet attachment, and then his torso there with all the lining and stretching. He's got this kind of like a fish bowl here for the helmet, so that looks pretty good. It just attaches from the stud on the top of his head there. And of course he's got some goggles. The print continues around the back, but I think what actually makes him most valuable are these tubes here and molded in the light blue, the air tank. It's probably because something to do with classic space, if I had to bet on it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool piece. I do like that. And then just an absolute crazy detailed back print underneath there. And you can't see like any of that with the tubes on there, but that looks really good. Lots of tubing and mechanicalness and lights and more lining. It looks really, really good. So big fan of this minifigure. He's probably my favorite of the three here. Although I do like the Arkham statue quite a bit as well, especially with that Joker face. But that does it for this haul so far. So let's go add these guys to the wall and see where they belong. Alrighty, now that we got everyone added to the wall, let's go see where they landed. So up at the very tip top there, we got Catwoman, the original Catwoman. So she goes right at the top. And then right below her is also the Batzarro. He came quite a while later, but he's just like, right below her. So that's kind of cool, filling in that spot there. And then we go all the way down to the middle of the wall, like almost right smack in the middle. We have Ocean Master and Aquaman sitting next to the Scuba Batman and Firefly. So pretty cool there. And then we have Lieutenant Gordon sitting with some of the other Batman minifigures down in the corner. And then Maxwell Lord sitting next to Cheetah, you know, filling in some of those big old gaps. So always glad to do that. And then down at the bottom, we have some more of the Arkham minifigures. We got Joker, we got Batman, Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, and then the very last minifigure is actually the Arkham Asylum statue. So very cool. Let me know in the comments who your favorite guy we added to the wall was, and who would you love to see Lego DC superheroes to make again? I want some more obscure superheroes again outside of Batman. Please, Lego. But like, comment, subscribe to join the Emperor's Legion, and I will see you all next time.